Well, hi there. Thank you for ordering my free video report on the 5 big marketing mistakes that carpet cleaners make. Real quick, I want to jump right in, but I want to tell you a little bit about where I'm coming from. So, several years ago, I was an unemployed web designer up here in beautiful Missoula, Montana. And somebody had convinced me to start a little carpet cleaning business until I can get back on my feet in the design industry. Well, so I did that, and I made my own website, and I ranked it high on Google, and my phone was ringing off the hook. And so I made a decision that instead of cleaning carpets every day, what I'd rather do is help other carpet cleaners do what I have done with my business. And so a lot of the information I'm about to share with you is not only based on my own experience, but it's based on the fact that I've spoken with hundreds of carpet cleaners over the past few years to find out exactly what works and what doesn't. This is real life stuff. This is not just theories and opinions. So let's jump right in and let's talk about different ways we can take your business to the next level. Okay, marketing mistake number one, not taking marketing seriously. I talk to a lot of carpet cleaners that just don't understand that marketing is probably the most important part of your business, at least at first anyway. You gotta get the calls coming in before you can set up systems, before you can buy new equipment, before you can grow your company. You gotta have marketing taken care of. Very important. I typically recommend that companies invest about 20% of their resources into marketing. This is 20% of your budget as well as your time. You continually will reinvest 20% into marketing on an ongoing basis. And as time goes on, you can decrease your time spent in marketing, but return in monetary resources may need to increase. That means you may need to spend more money as you grow. And you need to understand that with marketing, what works for one cleaner may not work for another. And what works one year may not work the next because there are factors that change from place to place and from time to time. Now, there are solid things you can do and solid principles you can follow, but you need to understand that things will continually change and that you will need to test. You'll need to constantly test and see what works and what doesn't work. I want to give you an example of this. So when I first started my carpet cleaning business, I was the only green cleaner in town. And so I put an ad in Valpak and I really was promoting the green eco-friendly side of carpet cleaning. And it worked like gangbusters the first year. But the next year, 3 other companies started advertising in Valpak, 3 of my competitors, and they all were talking about green as well. So the effectiveness of that same ad that worked like gangbusters the first year had dropped by 75%. That means I was only getting about a fourth of the calls that I was getting the year before with the exact same ad. Okay, mistake number 2, trying to be like everyone else. In order to compete in carpet cleaning, you've got to stand out. There are so many carpet cleaners out there, and more guys are jumping in day after day as people are losing their jobs. And as the economy worsens, carpet cleaning is a fairly easy business to get into, and so you're going to see more and more competitors jump in the game. The good news is, as long as you stand out from them, as long as you set yourself apart from the crowd, you're going to do well. There's a fast lane and there's a slow lane when it comes to marketing. The guys, there's only a few people in the fast lane and there's lots of people in the slow lane. If you separate yourself from everybody else, you will start competing in the fast lane and have much less competition. And I'm going to give you the number one way to stand out from the crowd, and it is not difficult at all. The number one way to be different is to be personal. That means you need to have pictures, videos, and examples of you and your specific business on your website and or your print advertising. So what does that mean? That means you need to have your own face or your own crew, and you guys need to be in there and you need to talk to the camera if you're making a video. If you're not going to make a video, then you need to at least have some solid pictures of you with a smiling face, nice uniform. You need to speak to the customers. People do not want to buy from a fancy logo. They want to buy from a person. And the more personal you make it, the better your results will be. If you want to see a perfect example of this, and the reason I use this as an example is because it's my business, and I made a quick, cheap little video with a standard digital camera, nothing fancy. I used the free software on my computer to edit it out and put a little bit of music to it. But this video is of my little 1-year-old daughter and I making a mess on a white carpet and cleaning it up with the Rotovac. I'm telling you, I have made probably $50,000 off this simple little minute-and-a-half video. Check it out, MissoulaGreenCarpetCleaning.com. Copy it if you want to, but just do something. Do something similar. Do something that is going to set you apart from the competition. Make it personal. Mistake number 3, bad advertising. There's a lot of carpet cleaners in your area advertising right now, but most of them are probably not doing a very good job. The reason they're not doing a very good job, and the reason you may not have had very much success with your advertising, is you don't have a compelling offer. And I'm not talking about this many rooms for this much money. That's not a compelling offer because everybody's kind of doing the same thing, and then you're just competing with price shoppers. So, how do you determine what your compelling offer is? Well, the best way to do that is to make a list of the top 5 reasons people should go with you and not the competitors. Okay, so I'm going to give you some examples because I know it's hard to come up with this stuff on your own. But you need to have, number 1, a guarantee. What guarantee can you give to your customers that your competition is not? It could be we will come back and clean everything for free, and if you don't like it, you'll get your money back. You need to make a big deal about that. A lot of guys are kind of saying it, or they'll say 100% guarantee, but customers don't know what that means. You gotta have something solid. You gotta have something that's going to feel like the customer has no risk when they use you. Okay, you can talk about your process and how the process does not void the carpet's manufacturer warranty. This is important because a lot of people don't know that their warranty can be voided by using certain methods. Of course, if you're a steam cleaner, you want to really push that because most people know that that is probably the best solution, the best way to go when it comes to carpet cleaning, but you need to make a big deal about it and say that's what you're all about. Okay, something else you can do is talk about how you're family owned and operated. You know, most carpet cleaners are one-man shows and they are family owned and operated, but they don't talk about it. They don't make a big deal about it. So that could be what sets you apart. That could be part of your compelling offer. And I know carpet cleaners love to talk about their equipment, especially if they spend a lot of money on it and they got something that they're proud of. Don't be afraid to talk about your equipment, but make sure that you don't use technical terms. Just talk about how powerful it is compared to other types of equipment or other methods. Another thing that you can come up with when you're making your top 5 reasons list is how you are community based. You want to talk about your community that you live in. You want to make a big deal about it, especially if people have pride in the city that you live in. You could even go as far as talking about sports teams, stuff like that. And you want to make it short and simple, but you want to have something that connects your brand to the community in which you're working in. So now you have your top 5 list. You want to refine it, you want to summarize it, you want to make it short and sweet, and this is going to be your compelling offer. This is what's going to make somebody want to choose you over somebody else. Put it into your advertising, put it on your website. This is now your compelling offer. This is what's going to turn your advertising from bad to good. Mistake number 4, no internet presence. This is extremely important. The yellow pages are dead. Google is the new yellow pages. You've got to rank high on Google in order to compete in today's climate. Now, there are 2 paths you can take when ranking on Google. Number 1, you can either do it yourself, or number 2, you can hire somebody else to do it. You're either going to invest time or you're going to invest money to make this happen, but it is critical. You have to do this. Now, even if you hire somebody else, you need to understand the basics of SEO or search engine optimization. You have to understand what links are, you have to understand what citations are, you have to understand how to set up your Google Places or Google Plus page correctly. You have to understand keywords or search terms. You have to understand what happens when somebody types something into Google, what Google looks for in order to rank a website or a business high based on those keywords. Those are the things you need to understand even if you're hiring somebody else. The reason you need to understand this is because you need to ask the right questions to your SEO guy before you start paying him money. You also need to be able to check up and see what he is doing for you in order to get to a certain point, and you need to have goals set for him and for yourself to make those things happen. Now, in addition to search engine optimization, in addition to ranking on Google, you need to have a website that converts. You need to have certain elements that get people to pick up the phone and call you. We've already talked about this stuff. We've talked about the top 5 reasons, your compelling offer, and we've talked about making it personal. Don't be generic. Don't be like everybody else. Make it different. Make it personal. Okay, so once you have a solid website that showcases your personal business and you have solid Google rankings, I guarantee your phone will ring. It's been proven again and again and again. You gotta have an internet presence. Mistake number 5, no follow-up. One of the biggest mistakes that carpet cleaners make is not following up with their current clients. If you're a brand new carpet cleaning company, this isn't going to apply to you, but once you get a customer base, you need to make sure that you keep track of all the people you want to do business with in the future. There are many ways to keep in contact with your current customer base. I'll give you a few examples here. Number 1, you can send out postcards. You can send out postcards to your current customers saying, here's a reminder that you need to have your carpets cleaned. You can also put a compelling offer in there. And then you also want to do emails. You can do email campaigns to send. You can blast emails out to your current customers saying, hey, it's time for another carpet cleaning. We're having a special right now, whether it's a spring special, maybe a Christmas special, something like that. You got to keep in constant contact with your customer base. A new way that more carpet cleaners are going to be keeping in contact with their customers is with text reminders. It's very cheap and it's very easy because you could schedule them out for 6-month periods, 1-year periods. It doesn't really matter how you do it, but you do need to spend some of your marketing dollars or some of your time following up with your current customer base. Okay, so that's the 5 biggest mistakes that carpet cleaners make. Let's recap really quick. Number 1, you want to budget about 20% of your time and money to go towards marketing. It's very important. Number 2, you want to set yourself apart by being personal. Number 3, you want to develop a compelling offer with your top 5 reasons list, and then you want to incorporate that into your advertising. Number 4, you need to have a professional website. You need to make sure it converts, and you need to make sure it ranks high on Google. And then number 5, you need to follow up with your current customer base. You do all of these things and you are going to be light years ahead of all of your competitors. Now, if you want to contact me, if you have any questions, or if you're looking to get a website or looking to get some search engine optimization, maybe you want to try out my text reminder program, feel free to get on my website, carpetcleaningwebsites.net, or just give me a call and we can talk about your needs. Thank you and good luck in all your future endeavors.